Welcome back to Filipina Instinct. So, today we're diving into a topic that sounds simple on paper, but completely changes the game in intercultural and long distance relationships.
Hmm.
And that is self awareness. So, Marty and I will gonna talk about it. How does self awareness affect a relationship? Okay. Hello, love. Are you there?
I'm back. This is paper. Just wanted to.
Ah, okay.
It, it,
Okay.
so, so, hold on. Yes, it
I'm
sounds
also
simple on
I'm
paper.
also ready because I prepared also a paper here. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you, oh, we both have paper. Okay, I
Yeah.
have
Paper
a
and
fake
pencil.
microphone right here. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. One, two, three.
Yes. Okay, okay. I'm gonna take down some of your, key points here. So that okay.
I wanna take down some key points right here. I'm being Filipino here, trying karaoke skills. Uh,
Okay, love. Okay.
my hair. Sorry. I have to get the hair off my. Okay, right. Good.
So what's your take on it?
Take on what?
About
On
the
paper?
thing, self-awareness. Why it is very important in a
That's,
relationship.
what's self-awareness? So let's just start with that. So everybody's on the same page. By the way,
Mm,
this can be a page.
okay, exactly. Um, like,
Ah,
yeah, when things get tense across a video call or, yeah, a 12-hour time zone difference, especially for Filipino and foreigner relationship, our default habit is to point at the camera or say, "Why are you acting like this? What's wrong with you?" But real relationship health actually start with looking in the mirror first. What are you doing to affect your partner's uh what do you call this? Getting angry, why he or she is getting angry, and how you perceive that. Is it being defensive or you are just lack of self-awareness? And there's, you know,
I don't know if I like that kind of description. Self-awareness. Because you are aware of what?
to your own actions, how it lands to your partner.
Okay.
That's how you know, I I define it.
Okay. It's as good of definition as any other, right? The thing is that, unless, let's say, if you're gonna look into a dictionary or you can Google
Mm,
definition of self-awareness,
okay, we'll do
uh,
that. Okay. What is self-awareness based on Google? Okay, let's let's check. Okay, self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Let's what is hold on.
I would ask, what's the definition of self-awareness? How
Okay.
about that?
What is the definition of self-awareness? Hold on.
That way, everybody's on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Same page. See? I already
Okay,
had a
same page.
multiple
Mm-hmm.
users. Yes, same page. It's the same page that I just used like a minute ago.
Okay.
Just mm.
Okay, for your own definition, before I gave you the definition based on Google, you can give me or you can give us what's your definition when it comes to self-awareness. Mm-hmm.
That's actually a good question. What's a self-awareness? Um, just like how you said, it's everybody sees the world through their own
Yes.
lens,
hmm That's why I want to
right?
know what's your definition of
I
it.
think that, well, I think that's what it is. That's why I think self-awareness, it's gonna be different for everybody else.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Because you can take two people, have the same situation, and both people will see things a little bit differently.
Exactly.
Let's just say that me and you,
Mm,
we go out
mm-hmm.
to Jollibee, okay,
Exactly.
and we see a couple arguing,
Mm, mm-hmm.
right? And then we could say, well, I think they argued, A, B, C. I'm pretty sure your reasoning is going to be much different,
Exactly.
right? If you're feminist, you're going to say it's probably the guy's fault.
Mm,
For me, I'm going to say it differently. Like unless you really, eavesdrop and hear what they say,
mm,
I said, like, without actually getting full context in the history,
mm,
I'm not going to make a judgment because it's foolish, because I don't know what's the point of speculation.
exactly. Yeah.
But see, but it's already two different outtakes, so that's all it is. It's just, I think, self-awareness. I mean, in all honesty, it's like being objective.
Mm,
It's nearly impossible because, like I said, you're not gonna see your view. It's not gonna be exactly the same view as
your
as the
partner.
other person, because you're
Mm-hmm.
because you're not in their shoes. Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody explained to you, for example, their view,
Mm,
at least you'll know. Like, you don't have to agree, but at least you know how they feel. But the same thing is like, I mean, even with us, there are certain things that you did that made no sense to me till you explained them to me, right?
mm, exactly. Um, so can I go now to the definition based on the
Please do.
dictionary? Okay, so according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, our self-awareness is an awareness of one's own personality or individuality, while Cambridge Dictionary says good knowledge and judgment about yourself. Then Wikipedia, according to philosophical and psychological view, self-awareness is an awareness and reflection of one's own traits, feelings, and behaviors, recognition of consciousness itself. Overall, self-awareness is the ability to consciously recognize and understand your own personality, emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, distinguishing yourself as an individual separate from others and your environment. So that's the definition of self-awareness.
So I think people do a pretty bad job when it comes to self-awareness. Um, as an example,
Mm,
let's say that we have an argument,
mm-hmm. Okay.
okay, and let's say I say things that next day I might regret.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Okay, does that show you that I'm self-aware? No,
Mm,
right? Because if you think about it, is we are emotional creatures, and
mm,
since emotion overrides logic, then we do things that are illogical, right? That's why you have
mm-hmm.
gamblers. That's why you have fights. That's why we have so many issues. That's why people, like I said, they gamble and then, they lose and they regret, and they fight and they lose and they regret.
Yeah.
It just shows you how very little self-awareness we actually have. We think,
Mm-hmm.
right? We think that we do, but we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, for example, people are notoriously terrible in foreseeing future, right? We
Mm-hmm.
think that,
Mm-hmm.
you meet a nice foreign guy
Mm-hmm.
and at the moment, you could say it's like you're real into it, like I really love him, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be happy for like that's how I
That's
feel at this
ridiculous.
moment, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So let's say if you tell me like, oh, I'm gonna love you forever, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous
Yeah.
because you cannot predict what's gonna happen in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'll say I believe you, I believe that's how you feel now.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot predict what's going to happen in 10 years, so it's a ridiculous thing to say. It sounds good, sounds
Mm-hmm.
romantic, and I say, yay, but that's just a lack of self-awareness, like I said, because we don't have to anything. But like if you're intelligent enough,
Mm-hmm.
then based on data and history, you could say that people are terrible in predicting future. So making such claims as much as it's cute,
Mm-hmm.
it's illogical. Just like I said, just like how many people argue about certain things, or they break up and then they go back, and then they break up and they go back.
Mm-hmm.
How's that being self-aware? That means you don't understand your feelings because you are so entrenched in how you feel right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you
Exactly.
don't think that in the morning you're gonna feel differently. So am I self-aware? No.
No.
Why? Because I became too emotional, right?
Yeah, yeah. I felt that too many times that, oh, why I'm like this? And the other day, oh, I regret what I said.
I think that happens to me more often than to you.
That's why I felt,
Uh,
oh.
You remember I'm the girl in the relationship, okay? You're the guy.
Okay, can I say something, love?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so when it comes to culture, okay, so Western culture conditions people toward an independent self concept. Do you agree on that?
It's called individualists. Yeah.
Yeah, individual. Yes, and uh, that's the concept of where being self-aware means knowing your individual goals, standing your ground, and speaking directly. But in
Mhm.
Philippine culture, we lens toward an interdependent self concept where self awareness is about reading the room, protecting pakikisama or harmony in a relationship with other people, and keeping the, what do you call this, keeping the society's peace or collective peace within the relationship, within the family. That's how I perceive being self aware.
Okay, so what are you telling me? It's a phenomena that's usually driven by by economy,
Mm,
right? So look at China, for example.
mm-hmm,
And remember I told you that, so I was watching a podcast with this Chinese lady,
mm-hmm,
and she said when, back in the day China was still very poor,
mm-hmm,
the communities were very tight. Everybody knew each other, everybody talked to each other.
mm-hmm,
Uh there was a substance, there was this closeness between people.
mm-hmm,
When the economy started growing, right? I mean, listen, people slept in factories, right? So people were like very tight, but then when everybody started getting, a little bit wealthier, um, the economy started getting better and better. Everybody start, then you can buy your own place, you bought a car, your life got better financially, but guess what? People detached from each other. So look at province.
mm,
Okay. Look at province life and look at city life. Now, in city life, nobody knows each other. Maybe you know somebody from your building. Let's say if you live in an apartment building. Maybe you know your neighbor, right? But the thing is that you don't know almost anybody else, right? Because you're gonna pass by people you'll probably never see again in life. maybe
Mm.
you can see a few times because let's say it's 7 o'clock in the morning, this person goes to an office and you go to whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Where in a little town, you come across the same people much more often, right?
Mm.
Because you're
Mhm.
obviously this, you live in a smaller space. I mean, it's a smaller town.
Mhm.
You see your neighbors maybe more often and whatnot. Also, um, so also that means there's more intimacy, right? People are poor, okay, financially,
Mm.
but they are richer as a society or culturally.
Mm.
And you
Mhm.
can and you can see this everywhere. That's why now it's different for everybody, right? But at a point of my life that if I have a choice between uh being rich and socially poor, I would rather be socially rich and financially poor. Why is because
Mm.
like I read a lot of books, right? And I've read a
Mm.
lot of books by interviews by very, let's say, by people that did a really they they did very well financially.
Mhm.
And that's including, the former CEO, Steve Jobs by Apple, right?
Mhm.
Nobody ever said on the deathbed, I wish I had more money. It's always, I wish I spent more time with family. I would, and it's something that, so if you're gonna learn anything from these people, right?
Mm.
You might not be, probably not gonna make $1 billion, but spending more time with family that you have access to.
Mhm.
So I think if somebody's smarter and wealthier than me, I'll listen. So when you think about it, look, I mean, being poor sucks, obviously, right?
Uh-huh.
But then being rich and lonely also sucks.
Mm. Mhm.
But you rather be rich or obviously it's good to find a balance
Mhm.
where you do live comfortable life. I mean, nobody says you got to drive a nice car or whatever. Just have enough where you can put a roof over your head and
Mm.
and food on the plate, especially for kids.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, but that's the whole point, is that have a rich, like, family life, because that gives you purpose. Money gives you no purpose.
Mhm.
I mean, they said there's a balance where you make enough money. Uh, it's called the middle finger money. So what does that mean? Is that uh, you have enough freedom that, let's say, if you work for someone, that's rarely happens, right? Because if you're gonna be rich, you're gonna have your own job or your own company. Is that you don't have to depend on anybody for income because you're doing well. Anything past that, it creates a lot of issues.
Mhm.
Like, the super wealthy people are not happy. Like, if you actually look very closely, through a microscope on their lives,
Mm.
most of the successful women that own companies, they're out of divorce, or they live, they have very unhappy relationships.
Mm.
All
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
So for you to be very successful, you have to sacrifice literally your family. Your Because that's what it takes to be successful. That means you have to outwork your competition. You only have so
Mhm.
much time during the day. So some people, I think, make these sacrifices, but at the end of the day, what really matters. And I think this is one of the problems with a lot of people, is that problems not problems. Sometimes as society we benefit from inventors, from people who build
Mm.
these tools that later we can enjoy, right?
Mhm.
As people. So let's say iPhone.
Mm.
But okay, if you want an iPhone, then but the thing is that as much as iPhone did a lot of good for us,
Mm.
they also destroyed a fabric of society,
Mm.
because instead of people spending time together, now everybody's sitting on their phone. You go to a dinner, instead of having conversation, you sit on your phone, right?
Yeah, yeah. I actually saw that when we had our, breakfast and dinner at the restaurants during vacation.
It's
All the people, almost everywhere, they are just holding their phone. Even and
yeah,
when we were in XYZ hotel, there are family there next to our table. They are just, you know, sitting there.
yes. They don't have they
Yeah.
have no conversations. They're sitting on the phones. At
Mm-hmm.
the airport, I think I was the only guy that didn't have a phone in my hand. Is why? Because I'm aware. So I keep my phone to minimum, right? So if I
Mm-hmm.
use my phone, it's either because it has a utility
Mm.
for a book
For us.
or like
Mm-hmm.
no, like for me,
Mm-hmm.
like if I gotta do booking, if I gotta do
Mm-hmm.
like as a utility, I do not use my phone for entertainment because
Mm-hmm.
I'm very aware. That's why I don't have social media, right? Because same thing is I do not want to watch, I don't care about watching anybody's life. I have my own life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who eats what, the BS that people are posting or
Mm-hmm.
the vacations and cars and homes and then everybody's like, people compare themselves to and you feel like you are way worse off
Mm-hmm.
than you really are because before the technology, you compared your life to your neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was a gauge to see how well you're doing in life, right? So like if you guys, if your neighbor has a bigger house or a nicer car, you feel like your neighbor is doing better than you. Now you compare yourself to the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there are companies, advertisers, platforms who take advantage of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you call it? Well, also, I mean, the study shows that like if you see a content that aggravates you or gets you angry, guess what? You spend more time on that platform. The more time you're gonna spend, the more money they make off of you, right? Because they sell your info to advertisers. They sell info. What are you Googling? What are you watching? The type of things you're shopping for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing is this is something that's negative and this is something that's destroying the fabric, like I said, of society. However, you also have tools like me and you, we can talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's a plus. I have access to technically any information, almost any information that's out there. That's a plus. I can, drive, work, and whatnot, and because I don't have time to read, but I can listen to an audiobook, right? That's a plus. So there's a lot of pluses. You have a tool that is capable of doing good for
Mm-hmm.
you and harming you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a self-awareness that I'm aware that this thing, right, will steal my time if I'll allow it.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose how I use it because I'm self-aware.
Mm. Okay.
Now, so we kind of digress. So to go back to our you know to the idea that when it comes to the system of like individualism versus like unity, it um it is the economy
Mm.
because and obviously it's cultural too. But let's say that it's not even in the United States because like two countries there, China and United States are very close to each other, right? And I already told you that China is more like United States than Russia, for example, because Russians are idealistic or China is materialistic. So just like United States, right? They push forward, they work on technology, very hardworking, very competitive, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit different system of politics and economy, but the goal is the same,
Mm.
right? Obviously, Philippines is not. You guys are a little bit different,
Laid back.
but
Mm-hmm.
let's consider the countries like seven top countries, right, in the world. So let's just say so we got United States, social fabric in United States, garbage. Canada, same thing. England, same thing. Europe, same thing. Like you see this massive separation between look at the amount of babies people are having, right? Europe, United States. United States is a little bit different because we can import people, right? Because people want to come move to United States. But you don't see a lot of people trying to move to Europe, for example. You see less and less with England and Canada is because you know, the truth is their economies are horrible. Like ours are not doing much better, but it's still way better than everywhere else.
Mm.
But the countries that are well developed, they care less about family life, right?
Mhm.
And the countries that are poor, usually they do have more children and they are usually closer to each other. So, I mean, the evidence, the evidence is very clear. Now, am I gonna say, like, is that a fact? Or it's like, well, you can look at the charts, you can look at the population growth. One of the worst population kind of collapse. Now, you look at Japan, right?
Yeah.
Japan has a huge issues when it comes to population, and also China, right? China has pretty bad numbers because with the one child policy they had for so many years, and now that caught up with you. So if you're trying to reverse this policy, well, you're not going to notice this policy for another 20 years.
Mhm.
So they're using technology and AI to replace some of the workforce they're going to lose, right? Because you have so many people that are retiring and you don't have enough replacement. You
Mm.
need, I remember, you need 2 to 1 to be how you said it's just balanced, right? Because you have two people. If you have two kids, when you pass in your kids, that's a perfect replacement.
Mm.
But the replacement is in single digit, like 1 point something, for example, like 1.6, 1.4, 1.8 when you look at the numbers.
Mm.
Um, and also, same thing is if you're gonna look at, for example, model from China, well, China, guess what? They become very successful, right? Like to the point where they're matching United States now,
Mhm.
but their population dropped. So you see the link that when countries are financially do better, they
Mhm.
have less babies
Mhm.
because guess what? You only have so many hours during the day, and if you go, let's say, and if you spend the time on education, work, just pushing forward, you
Mhm.
have less time for family, you have less time for relationships, and then one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like me, 47 and uh,
Um.
living by yourself, and hopefully, you got a cute Filipina on the other side of the world, and you're waiting for her
You got me.
desperately.
You got me.
Mhm.
Okay. So, we can go back to that, you know. So since we are in a video call, okay. So when a conflict happens on a call, and I also saw this problem in our group chat, a Filipino and foreigner group chat, Facebook group chat, then a foreigner might think there's a question: why isn't she telling me directly what's wrong? And you even asked me this question, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Then while the Filipino might be thinking, why isn't he self-aware enough to notice how his tone affected my mood? It's like, direct
Mhm.
and indirect. Then uh neither of you or neither the person is wrong. They are just operating in two different cultural, some sort of operating system. The cultural thing,
A norm, cultural norms.
norms.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because you have, okay, so in Philippines, right,
Mm-hmm.
you have a cultural norm, and the norm is telling you that don't argue, or like if you have a problem, don't talk about this problem because your
Mm.
man is not gonna be happy with you, and you don't wanna like
Hurt your
you don't
feelings.
wanna ruin his mood.
Yes.
or yeah, like you're gonna hurt my feelings. But you do not want to start an argument, right? You're trying
Uh-huh.
to be a good woman,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Uh-huh.
this is my problem. So okay, number one, uh, if you are a woman, okay, and you have a regular guy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something wrong in the relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
you think that he should know what the problem is, you
Mm-hmm.
have issues. Okay. He should not know anything. If you have a problem, talk to him directly and tell him what the problem is. Listen, it's ridiculous. Okay. So, uh, we know each other, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous. Why? Because life is constantly moving.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I might have issues at work,
Mm-hmm.
I might have issues with, family.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of things on my mind, right? And our focus is very limited.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, some guys are more focused than others. I mean, I would like to think that I'm very focused on things, right? That I notice things,
Mm.
but I have days when I'm tired and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
feel you.
I might
Mm-hmm.
not notice things. So I mean, just can you imagine if I have a problem with you and then it's like and you're noticing that I'm like very distant, right?
Mm.
And you're gonna say, Marty, what's wrong? You should know what's wrong. Okay, that's how I see
Right?
women. No, no, you shouldn't. If
Yeah.
listen, you got a mouth. If you have a problem,
Uh-huh.
don't. And yes, the tone it's a one thing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if I got a problem, and I'll come at you with an attitude, you automatically become defensive.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, the longer you're gonna wait, the more you just gonna drill through your brain, the more it's gonna bother you, the more you're gonna uh pull yourself away from from reality of an issue because you're
Mm.
gonna like, oh, maybe he did this, and then it's like then you creating these crazy scenarios. That's how women
Mm.
are, right? A little bit
Mm.
illogical.
Overthinking.
The longer yeah, so that's why if you have a problem, like say, listen, on, this bothers me.
Mm.
Look, we had the same problem too.
Mm-hmm.
And what you don't want to talk about it, and what did it do to us? Nothing. It
Yeah.
actually created more
Mm-hmm.
more stress for you
Mm-hmm.
that it would if you address it right off the line.
Mm.
Another thing is, like I said, my recent learning is that if you have a problem, address it right away, forget about it, move on. The longer it's gonna take to fix
Mm.
it, the more it's gonna be. This will get embedded in your long-term memory, and you do not want to do that. You
Mm.
have a problem,
Mm.
talk about it clearly. Nobody here is a wizard. Future predictor. Nobody's gonna reach your brain.
Mm.
Okay, open your mouth and say what's in your mind, and that's it. It's a very ridiculous way of going about things. So, as your culture says, like if you have a problem, like don't talk about it. But no, that is ridiculous.
Mm.
You have to talk about your problems because these things,
Um.
like I said,
Mm-hmm.
you sweep it under the carpet. Eventually, you're gonna have such a build up, so much resentment, you're gonna trip over it, and it is a possibility your relationship will end because you did not know how to open your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the communication is 100% not up to the debate, and it's not negotiable.
Oh.
Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you have a partner that if you have issues and he uh, neglects you, he doesn't want to talk about it, or he gets angry, dump him
Mm.
right away. Dump him. That's why I always tell you, if you have an issue, talk to me, right? If I
Mm.
got an issue, I talk to you too. Do not walk away, run away, don't hide,
Mm.
whatever. And if your partner is not willing to listen to you because he doesn't care enough about how you feel, that there's something that it just shows you he's not the right partner for you. Go back on OKC and find another one, better version, improved model with better processing power and more RAM. Yeah, of
That's
course.
another adjustment. Oh. I don't want to go back on that days. Uh,
I, you know how lucky you got? Not because of me. Look how fast you found somebody.
1 week.
Look how fast,
I only found Marty for only 1 week.
not for 1 week. You found me after 1 week.
After 1 week, oh, well, I mean, just
Listen,
I only stayed there for 1 week when I found you, and then I
yeah, I
dumped my account.
understand. But if you say you found me for 1 week, that means we're together for 1 week and then I was gone.
Sorry,
Like a free
sorry.
willy.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Uh-oh.
uh Okay. Okay. So are you familiar with Dr. what do you call this? Daniel Goleman?
Kevorkian? No, I don't know who that is.
What
I don't
about
think so.
um because I mean, so Dr. Daniel Goleman, I don't know how to pronounce it. Goleman. Dolly or
Yeah,
Goleman. Um,
usually the people that I like if I read a book or listen book and whatnot, I always share those with you.
mm-hmm,
Or like I'll
mm-hmm,
share my link, let's say if it's a YouTube or a book.
mm-hmm.
So what I know, also you know, I share with you everything.
Oh,
So
yes, yes. Well, I just recently know about uh him is that about emotional self-awareness.
you can you came across him.
Yeah, I came across
Hmm.
him through when I did my research about emotional self-awareness. So what is emotional self-awareness according to Dr. Daniel Goleman is that it is the ability to identify your own emotional state before you unload it on your partner. Research
Yes,
shows that couples with high EQ or emotional quotient have significantly fewer recurring fights because they catch themselves projecting.
I agree 100%.
Hmm. So let's give a
So
real example, okay? Based on my experience. Okay, so say so I had a stressful day at work. I'm working at home, and I have um 10 to 11 classes on a maximum. So, and Marty takes an extra 2 hours to, yeah, an hour to 2 hours to reply to my message. And I get, you know, she's ignoring me. She doesn't care. I, you know, that's, that shows that on that moment, I have a low self awareness. I just recently, you know, uh, learned this with me. As you can see how I message you, I message then message again. I don't when I didn't get a reply from you, I then message again, then ah that's not good. Then
I
having
I I,
uh
I don't
mhm.
I don't think that's a lack of self-awareness, not necessarily.
I mean
What
low self
happens is
awareness.
that no,
Low. Mhm.
I don't think that is. I'm gonna tell you why I think so. It's because on average, when you send me a message, how fast do I reply to you?
Pretty quick. You reply right away.
Right away.
Mhm.
So now you see a change and you're just like, uh-oh, what's going on? There's something different. This is not a self-awareness issue. It's because we already have a habit. We reply to each other
Mhm.
right away, right? So same thing is, for example, like when you have a power outage,
Mhm.
right? And if I know, and then I don't hear from you, like I'm okay for a day, on the second day, I'm a little bit worried, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
are you okay? Among other things, right?
Mhm.
Well, it is the same thing is that, like, for example, if I always, reply and now you don't hear because let's say, I was doing a video, right?
Ah, yes, yes.
And
That's
okay,
one thing.
I was doing a video, so I don't want to just grab my phone and kind of respond to you.
Uh-huh.
But because you didn't know what I was doing,
Oh.
you just kind of jumped into a conclusion. But it's not a self-awareness. What it is that so that like something happened that's not an or that it's outside of ordinary,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And because you're so used to me responding right away like a little puppy, right? Like then now the puppy is not coming for the treat. So you're like,
Ah.
huh,
Mm.
what's going on?
Mm.
That's all that is. So no, I don't think that's a like a self-awareness issue. I think it's just that what do you call it? It's um what
Because
do you
most
call it? Not it not
mhm.
I go
Because most of the Filipina, they are so, when it comes to chatting, uh in our group chat, they they seems like easily get upset when their partner don't reply right away. Oh, you're talking to someone else. They are overacting like this, they are showing that
that's
you you did not
that's
message me yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
so okay, if I think there's a degree
Mm.
that you can do that. So
Mm.
so one is like this. You can be possessive, right?
Mm.
If you're possessive,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a it's a compliment to me. And why is because like I should be happy, right? Like I have somebody that's looking forward to see me or looking forward to my message. I'm not gonna be mad at that. Like I'm happy, right? I have somebody that's, that into me.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you start to make false claims that, oh, I'm talking to somebody, some
Somebody
other
else.
girl and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, that's a red flag. That means you have self-esteem issues, or and that I will not I would that I wouldn't allow. No, it's what do you call it? So being I understand you being overprotective. Look, that also depends how long you were together, right?
Mm.
Because if it's I mean, listen, if you let's say if you talk to me like this, for example, you say it's like, oh, you didn't answer because you're talking to some other girl. I would have a conversation with you to understand why,
Mm.
right? What did they come to your mind? And if you tell me that your ex cheated on you, okay,
Mm.
then I understand. I
Mm.
cannot be mad at you for something that because you had a traumatic experience and now you're scared because you're using emotions to
Mm.
translate what just happened.
Mm.
So I would say, okay, because now I understand how you feel, how about I put an extra care or extra focus on trying to reply to you as soon as possible, even which is just a text message. Honey, I'm busy right now. Let me get back to you 30, 40 minutes, right? That means I'm very considerate of you and how you feel.
Mm.
But if I'm gonna put an extra effort,
Mm.
then you also have to put on a little extra effort in bringing that negative energy down,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So if I'll do better, but you don't improve, that's a no-no, right? Because that shows me you're possessive and obsessive.
That's a negative characteristic.
That's that's unhealthy, I think.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's what do you call it? Especially since we say like, look, you cannot say, it's like this is a new relationship because somebody cheated on you back then. Don't bring the old garbage into a new house, right?
Mm.
I mean, I said that more than once.
Mm.
But then you also have to be kind of considerate that our like wisdom comes from our past experiences,
Mm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like it's also a protective mechanism. So if you got cheated on and you got really hurt, well, that's going to be your natural uh
Reaction.
defensive mechanism.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course, right? Because you don't want to get hurt anymore. And the first thing
Mm.
that comes to you, it's like maybe he's cheating on me because somebody already did that to me before.
Mm.
This so that's what I'm saying is this like when you have conversations about these things and you
Mm-hmm.
understand each other
Mm-hmm.
and you care about each other's feelings, that if I care about you, I'm gonna consider that and I'm gonna do better, right? Because I want you to know that I'm not gonna do to you what your ex did to you.
Mm.
That's why I recommend for all foreigners, look for virgins. No boyfriend ever. That way, listen, you just eliminated a problem, right, out of the
Yeah.
relationship.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you eliminate one problem,
Uh-huh.
all right, you're gonna introduce different set of problems.
Uh-huh.
Because why? Because now you have to come with an instructions and teach her everything. What do you call it? So yeah.
Well, you help me when it comes to my self-development, when it comes to handling things, being objective, being self-aware, because I have downsides, and you know that. And being
I mean,
self-aware,
honey,
it takes a lot of effort, self-discipline, and yeah, and the other person, your partner, is actually your mirror. That you can see yourself that you need to do this, you need to do that. It is negative for your well-being. You need to go to sleep. Oh no, no, I want to see you. You have a problem, girl, if you go do that. Because that thing that when your partner say that you need to go to sleep, hon, or love, it's that thing shows that he actually cares for your well-being, and having enough sleep is actually good for us, because there are Filipinos that they call 24/7. It's like extreme.
it's no, so that's those are the 7-Eleven ladies. Yeah.
It's like we need to what I've learned from Marty is that we need also to prioritize ourselves, especially our personal goal, self-improvement, family, and the relationship. Because how you can show up to your partner on the relationship if you yourself, you don't have that uh foundation within yourself, that you have uh high self-esteem, you know
Self-esteem.
yeah, self-esteem, and that is very important.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem,
Hmm.
self-esteem,
No, self-esteem.
self-esteem.
Okay, close enough.
Okay, so what's your, what's your point about that? What I've heard.
Um, so when you meet somebody, right?
Mhm.
Um, you're gonna develop your like a structure of relationship.
Mhm.
Um, Well, okay, so first of all, let's just say that, and this is if you're okay, so because I'm very well disciplined, right?
Mhm.
And
You
I
are.
have structures for everything that I want to be in control of things that I can control,
Mm.
from how I wake up, what I do, how I leave to work, my food, my gym, everything, right? It's set like right to the point. Everything repeats, so I don't have to worry about these things. Just
Mm.
in case there's gonna be that something life happens, right? Something happens. I don't have to worry about the necessary things, food, whatever. That's all done.
Mhm.
Well, relationships are no different, right? So if you have a chaos in your house, in your life, your
Mhm.
relationship is gonna be no different,
Mm.
right? So what happens is you create a structure of, let's say, uh, or habit, you call it, right? Where we talk at the same time, right? You call
Yeah.
me, let's say you finish your classes, you call me. Recently, because let's say you started your classes maybe early, you have something to say, and you're gonna say, because I'm gonna drive, for example, and he's like, oh, and I tell you right away, don't wait, just call me now, right? So
Mm.
now we've been talking a little bit well, let's say when I'm driving to work.
Mhm.
So later you can, focus on your classes.
Mhm.
So we have obviously time for each other, 2, 3 times a day,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And and then, same thing with the weekend. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you send me a text message and you say you want to see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we talk. Um, Also, when I was pushing towards to, if you have an issue, address these issues right away,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened when the issues that I needed to be solved have not been solved? What happened?
Oh, it created, you know, seems like heavy on us, when we didn't talk about it. But when I lay down all the list that you told me, that you've been telling me, it's some sort of, it's hard for me to swallow at first, because it's like, uh this is me, why I'm doing this in a relationship. But when I do my self reflection, it is actually good for me. How can I show
Let me
up
ask you
within a
something.
relationship, you know
Okay. So if I have a problem,
mm-hmm,
right, I solve it right away.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I don't wait. I do not procrastinate, right? If
mm-hmm,
there's a work to do, don't do it tomorrow, right? I rather do it today, just in case, so tomorrow I don't have to worry about it. It's absolutely no difference when we have an issues, right? Like
mm-hmm,
same thing is when you had an issue with me,
mm,
instead of talking to me right away, you waited till you just couldn't hold it no more and you eventually spilled your beans. You are the layer, right?
mm.
For me, I do it right away. Now,
Love, can I say
there are
something?
problems. Yeah, of course.
When it comes to that, when it comes to our emotions, when you are angry and I am angry, I think it's not a good timing to talk about the problem, because it will only it will only create,
Uh,
fire.
Escalate,
Yes,
escalate.
so within that moment, so it's actually good to step back, and when we're not angry anymore, we can go back.
Mm, Not necessarily. Depends on the problem, and it depends if you can solve it right away
Mm,
and somebody addresses the problem. No,
mm,
you should do it right away.
mm,
The the problem with us is that, let's say if I have a problem,
mm,
uh, you
mm,
don't want to talk about it. That's how I see it. Look, I'm not saying, you might see it differently. You rather not talk about it than you hope it's just gonna go away.
i wasn't I wasn't self-aware.
Because because let's say if if uh, I'll write you, I'll even tell you
Mm-hmm,
what I want you to do or what I need you to do.
mm-hmm,
I'll give you step by step and you still fail to. That's why I always say when I say A, I think you hear B.
mm-hmm. Okay, but when you say that, I already did, right?
No, you don't.
When you told
There's a
me that
lot of issues that.
you want the list of the things that you actually, on that emails that we had, a previous conversation, I actually wrote down there, and the practical way to solve it, I wrote down. So I made a lot of notes, and going back to it, it's like, I made a lot of, you know self reflection and learnings about it. And
It's,
you told me, and one thing that hurt my feelings, mm,
mhm.
and I get
I
defensive.
said, yeah, maybe I said a lot of things that hurt your feelings. I understand. And I apologize
Mm,
for that. You haven't addressed a lot of these problems. I can tell you right away. That's why me and you, we see things differently.
mm,
How I do it, if you would write me a list of issues that you have,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Let's say I'll put them on the paper and I'm gonna say, okay, you said this,
mm,
right? And this is how I'm gonna do it. You say this is a, and then once the and Then I would have a conversation with you. For example, like, was that address, up to your standards? Yes or no? You said yes. I'm gonna scratch it off my list. Was this, okay, this I cannot do till we see each other, but this is what I'm planning to do when I see you, right? So this is gonna be, to be determined, TBD,
Mm.
among other things. You didn't address half of them. If you think you did, then okay.
Well, there are things that now I can control. That's what I'm trying to say. But when there are other things that I cannot control because we are not physically together at the moment, that's why I told you.
Yes,
Uh, yeah.
but if you have, listen, if you have a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say, listen, there are certain things that right now till I see I cannot, I cannot solve
Mm-hmm.
or show you that I improved. However, it is on my mind. It's on my goal. This is how I see it in my mind. Like, for example, you had problem with this, and this is my plan to, let's say, fix it or whatever change. So please know, right, that I'm not ignoring you. And I still remember, that, for example, like, this is an issue you had. You didn't, that's the thing, is like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we are such a different thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
We operate and see things, and we have different ways of, what do you call it? Let's just put it this way. If you have an issue, okay, you tell me, Marty, like, but this bothers me. This is what I would see. And then I'm not gonna talk to you, and I'm not gonna address it because I can't, but it's in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about it. So he's like, well, he's ignoring me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see those things because you're not self-aware.
Mm-hmm. That's focus.
Maybe you're self-aware, but you're
Mm-hmm.
not aware of, like, and that's the thing, is, so, like, I literally can give you, instructions with pictures on them, and you still didn't get it. So what are my options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. That's
So yeah,
self-awareness.
it's obviously not.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it is what it is. It's, as you see, look, certain things you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
uh Certain things, it's just your biology, uh some people produce, high amounts of, acetylcholine,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's that focus hormone. And some people less, like I said, some people are naturally more caring, naturally more objective. They see people that are around them,
Mm-hmm.
and some people are less, right? Some people are, so so your brain process information certain way. We obviously are very, very different when it comes to that, how we do things and how we see things and whatnot. Some of it is just, I don't know, it's ignorance, lack of, I wouldn't say, like, I mean, yes, like, if we knew better, then we do better. But if somebody
Mm-hmm.
gives you a recipe, right, to make ice cream, and you make a chocolate cake,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's
It's
there's
totally
there, there's
different.
a miscommunication there
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. So now, like, did I make a mistake of how I wrote the recipe, or did you just read the recipe,
Mm-hmm.
in a wrong way, you know?
I think I read the recipe in a wrong way, and I added different flavor in it.
Oh, you added your addition. You add the cocoa. Got it. Cocoa and baking soda and flour.
And
Right?
actually,
There's no flour in ice cream.
oh yes. Mhm. And actually, I also learned that questioning things is actually good. Mm-hmm.
You should question everything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that shows intelligence
Mm-hmm.
and curiosity. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're curious, you always do better in life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but it has to be let's just say curiosity for, if you are illogical, right? So what I say, it's like your question. What do we question? I mean, I don't even know if there's such a thing as illogical. Because if you have a boyfriend or partner,
Mm,
right, and they never cheated on you, but you constantly think that he cheated on you, I would consider that to be a little bit illogical,
mm,
right? So you're asking questions because I don't know if you're curious or you just, or you're looking for what's the word I'm looking for?
you're obsessed? No?
Not necessarily a confirmation
Mm,
or uh, it's just you're. I mean, like all these things they're coming from somewhere,
mm,
right? People don't accuse other people, of doing illicit act for no reason,
mm, mhm,
right? So if you would keep questioning or you be very jealous or very possessive,
mm,
look, I mean, if I care about you, I can only do so much, right? Because it's my job to make sure you feel secured with me.
mm,
But if that doesn't help and I notice like unhealthy behavior, yes, of course I'm gonna address it and I'm gonna look, this is the thing, the end goal is you come home to a loving wife, right?
mm,
Uh and if I know you're being, for example, like you going a little bit over the board,
mm. Did I?
okay? No, I don't have a problem with you when it comes to a lot of things. I think
Mm,
the things that you question are 100% justified. Like you have a reason. Like, and I told you that
mm,
uh, it was my fault. But I also told you if this would happen, like
mm,
I would tell you right, like, I would tell you what I would do, and you should have
mm,
done that. And
mm, mm,
so just for your peace of mind
mhm,
to understand, there's nothing, nothing
mhm,
going on, right?
mhm. And then I
But yeah,
understand
but
you.
the goal is that like
Mhm,
if you be are very illogical and if I come home from work and and then you're sitting here angry because you think I've cheated on you, right?
mm. That's a red flag.
And
Mhm,
yes, like I do not, I don't want to have a typhoon, a Filipino typhoon anytime, I come home to the point there's sometimes, see, obviously that's not going to happen every day, but it becomes like a lottery. I'm driving home and I'm like, is she gonna be okay today, or is she gonna be
mm,
wild and wet, and then she's gonna take my house and my car, right? Look,
mm,
if you're gonna judge somebody, right? I mean, if I'm with you for 100 days, one day you're gonna be crazy,
mhm,
right? I'm not gonna say you're crazy, but I'm just gonna say that you're amazing. 1 out of 100, there's a chance, right? You're gonna go, gangster on me, okay? That's all there is.
uh,
It's a statistic. It's a depends how crazy you go, but it's a statistic that I think that you can, that I'm not gonna consider you crazy because 1 out of 100, you have a
mm,
bad day,
mhm. We have.
right?
We have a bad day.
Well, no, I had a good day till I saw you, right? Because you're attacking me for you're angry or you're yelling for whatever it is, and so like
Uh,
I'm perfect, man. That's you're the problem, No, I'm kidding. But that's all it is, right? Like you take the whole picture, right? And you make a judgment that like she's an amazing, she just had a one bad day. She's not crazy, obviously,
mm,
or she was until now, and then there's another 100 days, right?
mm,
And you crazy again. Now I see a pattern, right? So
mm,
maybe you have a timer.
mm,
So what happens on a day number 300? I don't go home. I go to the hotel because I know what's waiting for me. And guess what? I just removed the bottleneck from our relationship.
uh-huh,
And then you
uh-huh,
call me, and they're like, where are you at? There's an answering machine. And you say, today it's a crazy anniversary. And I decided to, and what do you call it? Maybe 100 days later, I'm going to come home. It's going to be iffy. I'm like, did you learn your lesson or not? Right. And if you're going to be coming quiet, that means you had a day to think about the consequences of your behavior.
Mm,
Right.
exactly.
And guess what? But if on the day 400 you haven't learned the lesson and you're wild and wet again, well, there's more hotels. I mean, look, it's obviously it's idiotic example,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the thing is that, if usually you're crazy. I mean, look, normally I'll say if you have a bad day
Mm.
and you're pissed off,
What will you do?
obviously I'm
Mm.
not here to put up with your, you know what.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe all you need is a hug and say, honey, chill out. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay. Calm down.
Exactly.
Maybe that maybe that's all you need. You need a little balance. Maybe something happened or whatever it is, right?
Mm.
Um, obviously if you come down,
Mm.
then we can sit down and have a conversation what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're gonna say. It's hormones. But then I'm like, well, but that should be happening every 30 days, no? Why is what's up with that 100? Hello. It's obviously not hormones. Eh, You're not self-aware. There you go. I just solved the mystery. Well, half the mystery.
Oh, um, when it comes to trigger, okay, so
Hmm.
how we can separate the trigger from the person that we love? By asking, I have this question: is my frustration coming from my partner's action or my own stress?
Both.
Both. Mm. Why you say both?
Because there's two sides to the story. You
Mm.
have two people.
Mm.
You have two people involved. So if you're okay,
Mm.
right, and then you input another person into your life and you're not okay, right? There's two people. So I think it's both. I think sometimes, like, think about what might trigger a woman, right? Um, quite often, her expectations have not been met. I think it's one of the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she hasn't been, for example, so your expectations have not been met.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you haven't been heard,
Mm-hmm.
or like some women said, you should, right? You should know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess he's not a mind reader.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck finding that guy, right? Maybe at a circus or the magic show,
Love.
the guys can,
Uh-huh. Yes.
yeah, but listen, if you're gonna say, okay, so you go to a magic show because you're trying to find a mind reader, so he reads you and gives you whatever you want. Now, cautious, caution.
Mm.
He might read the number, right? He said pick a number from between 1 and 40. He maybe figure that number out. He will not figure out the problems because nobody can, right?
Mm.
There are many, many people that tried,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And obviously because women don't know what they want themselves. So how are we as men gonna figure that out? We can't because there's no logic to it.
Mm.
It's easier. So look at, for example, sex workers, right? A
Mm.
good one, she understands a man's nature. She's gonna talk to him for 5, 10 minutes, and she already knows what he wants. She can wrap him around the finger and extract as many resources as possibly she can because she understands man nature, right?
Mm.
Try to do you try to do the same thing to a woman? It's not possible because you'll never know what she wants. I mean, you can figure out what she wants today, but tomorrow might be something else.
Mm.
How many times did you see a woman cry and you say, why are you crying? And she's like, I don't know. I just needed to cry. I mean, God damn it. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know the
So
reason
don't
why
even
you're
waste it.
crying. I know the reason.
The, yes, but like there are some, so that's why I'm like, you know, when you see that, it's like, yeah, just you give up. You know, it's like what do you call, you'll figure it out. But sometimes there's no point. But no,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying is like women are more complicated than men. Men are very,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say simplistic, but they're much I think because men are much more focused.
Mm-hmm.
Remember even look, if you have a husband or let's say you have a guy that's married, he has kids, he's got a wife, he's got a home and everything. Even if he doesn't love her, he's quite often it happens when he's not gonna leave, right? Because he has a responsibility,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
right? He's got a house, he's got a wife, he's got a purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
A woman quite often she'll leave. I don't know about Philippines, but in United States, for example, if a woman doesn't love the guy, she'll divorce him, she'll leave, or she'll cheat on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Totally two different systems. Like, so people look at things differently. Um, it's like I said, it's unfortunate, you know, um, things obviously change. Look, when you're 20 years old, just think about this. Like, think about your priorities when you're 15, then 20, then 25, 30, right? Obviously, I'm not the same person that I was when I was 30, right? If I learn something new,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they said it's like you're killing your old self because you just changed something, right? You change your
Mm-hmm.
behavior, you change your thinking, so that's why I mean I've heard this a long time ago. It's like, oh, you have changed. Of course you change. You always change. People always change.
My friends also told me that I
It's
have changed a lot since I met you.
well, yes, but change means growth.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people do get dumber. It seems with age, but in normal circumstances, change means growth. And why do you grow? Well, usually, some people grow by adoption. So
Mm-hmm.
that means something happened, and you have to you have to adapt to survive. That's what people are very good at, right? We are very adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
Some people grow because they want to get smarter and better and they want to understand more things. So that's why you open a book. That's why you talk to people. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you talk to people, not, you don't talk about BS. You're actually talking about because you want to learn. You're trying
Mm-hmm.
to see different points of view. And obviously, you want to always talk to somebody that's smarter than you, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
dumber, because you also want to be smarter. Look, I mean, self growth is it's a choice. A lot of people are just they're fine with how they are. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people say, like, I don't want to change. I remember this is a funny where the difference between men and women is that, let's say, for example, so look, when you get married, you lose a girlfriend. That's why women change. Makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a man, when he meets a woman, for example, and she's slim or fit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe not, but it's just an idea. And and she's amazing, in bed and everything else, and she'll cook and she does all these things for you. Just a perfect partner. Then you get married, all these things walk away. She starts to fart in front of you, scratches her ass, puts on couple of kilos overnight, gain weight, and then I mean, there's barely any sex and whatnot, right? Well, this is the thing. The guy does not want a woman to change. I would like my woman to be just like when I met her, right? Amazing, into me, blah, all these things. Now, for a woman, it's different. When a woman meets a guy, she wants him to change, but quite often they don't change fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
This is this is how. Look, if you see a guy, right, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, you're gonna look at how he dresses. Maybe he dresses nice, but you notice it's like, okay, maybe he doesn't think like I want him to. Maybe he doesn't. what you always see an improvement and you hope he's gonna, it's like I'll work with him, right? Like he's doable and
Mm.
I'll figure it out. So he's gonna be like a perfect partner. Well, that's not gonna happen, right? It's like it's like trying to play a chess with a donkey. The chances, okay, he's gonna play the donkey gonna play chess. It's just almost impossible. So you're not gonna change the guy to the point where you want him because if he's gonna change, you will not respect him.
Mm.
And if you do not remember I said a woman will not cheat on a guy that she respects. But if you're gonna respect your guy, right, that
Mm.
means you have to look up to him. And if you can just wrap him around your finger and he's gonna run around you like a puppy, you can respect a man like that.
Mm.
You're looking for a man or you're looking for a poodle? Like which
A
one?
man.
So
A man who
a
can
lot
give
of women,
his children and a wife, the strength of the
yeah,
family.
yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, and that,
Mm-hmm.
well, and this is the point, right? That's why, as I mean, I've heard this like, oh, my boyfriend is my best friend. Oh, that's why I would say, like, I would say I'm not your friend, right? If you give me shit, that I'm not your friend. If you got a problem, call your friend, talk to somebody else because I'm not gonna listen to you. But once you're done, why don't you come over and I'll give you a hug, right? And and
Um,
and this is the thing is, well, look, I mean, if you angry, okay, and then I'm gonna be angry, and then we're gonna fight, we might as well be two females,
yeah.
just nibbling like little goddamn chickens, just
Yeah.
just chipping at each other. How's that being a man?
Mm.
And so let me ask you something. If you have a bad day,
Mm.
okay, you're angry as hell, you come home and you're all pissed off, right? You're in a bad mood, and now your man is in a bad mood, right? And now you're arguing about things because he's like, oh, I had a horrible day, and this coworker did this, blah blah blah, and now this guy, oh, you think you had a bad day, and now you're arguing because you don't listen to each other, like everybody's
Mm-hmm.
after themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but that, what do you call it? But that's kind of, if you come home and let's say, and you're angry and, and your guy's going to say, listen, come down and
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to you. If not, then I'm not going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what, if you want to talk, you're going to come down.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. And what's wrong? What happened to your work? So you need to step back and listen to your partner. What's going on? Tell your partner what you're feeling about it before you have to, you know.
How you feeling about it?
Mm.
Listen, but this is the thing. This is something you learn right when you develop a relationship. Because look, uh, just like kids, adults are just like kids. They gauge each other, and you see how far you can push. You see, what you can get away with, right?
Mm. Mhm.
If I'm gonna say that, let's say if we fight and I leave and then you're all sweet, and I come back, and the second time happens, and third time happens, and fourth times happen. And the sixth time, you're gonna get him back because you've been through this, right? However, there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee. Mm-hmm.
There's no guarantee. So what I'm saying is that, and listen, if the door is closed, you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You kick the door once, you kick the door two times, three, four, five, it's still not opening. Eventually you'll probably kick the door in. And it's, you know what I mean? It might be 40 times, it might be 50 times. If you do not want to break that door, do not kick it.
Mm.
If you got away with it 27, 28, 30 times,
Mm.
and you don't want to break that door, don't kick it anymore. That's self-awareness. Because, like we said, relationships are optional.
Mm. It's optional.
And
Mm-hmm.
It's optional. Nobody's forcing you to relationship. That means the person you are pushing,
Mm-hmm.
right, has an option to leave you.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is sometimes people leave when you don't expect them. And that's a shocker. You
Mm-hmm.
know how they said it's like this is I'm gonna digress a little bit. When you look at relationships like in India, among other things, right? Obviously men have multiple partners.
Mm-hmm.
And what they learn from them is that sometimes the issue with the second woman is because the woman just found out and she's surprised. Women do not like to be surprised,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that means if let's say if I have a second woman and you don't know about it and then you find out about it, guess what? There's a shock to the system, right? Somebody just yanked the safety from under your feet. They, pulled the rag out. Now, like when I was telling you that there are marriages, for example, when you have two people, so you have a husband and wife, they have kids, they have a house, but she's not putting out,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if let's say the guy is honest and he's gonna say, for example, like, listen, I need to, my plumbing it needs cleaning, right? And the woman's gonna, and it's like, and you don't wanna sleep with me because, you're amazing mother, but you're spending so much time and, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe she doesn't find him, attractive anymore and
Mm-hmm.
she lost the drive.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Uh, and solution for that is it's like, well, listen, if you want to, you can find a lover,
Mm-hmm.
right? But make sure you don't bring any disease home and come home every night. So, okay. And listen, and for some people, it is an alternative because guess what? It will, I'm not gonna say it keeps the marriage from breaking because if you have a need,
Mm-hmm.
right? And imagine that need has not been satisfied for years.
Mm.
Well, why you think people cheat?
Oh.
Because
Mm-hmm.
because something was itching you and you found somebody to scratch your itch, right? It sits in the back of your head
Mm-hmm.
and 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 so there's no difference. So what I'm saying is that, like I said, that obviously, look, it's kind of, I mean, a lot of women would say like, oh, that's crazy. I would never put up with it. Well, because you haven't been in that situation. But imagine you have an amazing guy. You know, he's a great father. You just, I don't know if it's hormonal or it's just like it's like when you sleep with them, right? Listen, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women. They have husbands for 20, 25 years. And when he gets on top of you, you wish he was not there. But but he's a provider. Well, listen,
Mhm.
that happens,
Oh, yes, yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can have a belly, beer belly, whatever. Maybe, he let himself go and all these things and, what do you call it? And like I said, maybe hormonal, it's just you don't feel like, I mean, it can be a more multifactorial thing.
Mm.
Well, it's a solution. He's an amazing father. He always comes home. He
Mm.
treats me well, and it's like, and you don't want to raise, kids on your own.
Mm.
Uh, somebody would have to move out. Listen, it's also financial, right? Like maybe, like you don't have like if you move, right now instead of having one household, right, to finance, now you're gonna have two and
Mm.
you're financially struggling. So if you think about it logically, if you do not want to sleep with your husband, then at least allow him to have somebody to scratch that itch. I think that's logical.
Logical, yeah. As long as there is consent.
Yes, it has to
Mm-hmm.
be a mutual understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I'm talking about. Why
Mm-hmm.
women or men get angry when you find out that, they've been scratching, their itch is somewhere else, is because it's a surprise, all right? It's a surprise, and you never had that conversation, and you feel betrayed.
Mm.
But when you know about it,
Mm.
right? And listen, and you could say that, I mean, look, for women it's different, for example, because like I said, if a man cheats on a woman, and the woman's gonna say, I'm willing to forgive you, you have to dump the B, right? Dump her, come home and promise you'll never do it again, and never do it again.
Mm.
And that happens, the man usually always goes back home to his wife.
Mm.
The statistics are very clear. He's gonna do whatever is responsible, right? And
Mm.
a man's responsibility is to his family. A woman is different. If, like I said, if a woman cheats on you, you might as well just yeah, just end it there.
Mm.
And like I said, we have a situation at work where my coworker, he came in to work in a very bad mood. And he technically said, my wife told me she cheated on me. And guess what?
Oh.
You know that. Don't be
Oh, yes.
surprised because I told you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This dude he comes miserable. It's been a year and a half. He is not the same person. And now he doesn't talk to me. I told him, dude, you gotta move out. You gotta leave. Because guess what? If you're gonna stay, you will hate yourself.
Mm.
She does, and I don't blame her because I would cheat on him too. All right. He's a bum. But but the thing is, and obviously he's a bum because think about it. If you're a real man, you just found out that your wife polished somebody else's knob, and you're gonna stay? How is she gonna even respect you for that?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
What does that tell you?
Oh.
So, like I said, it's you could say like it's like, oh, maybe it's not fair because it doesn't matter if like the world is not fair, the universe is not fair,
Exactly.
but it's not about being fair. It's about that men and women they're capable of doing the same thing, but it comes from a different mindset.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that means there are certain things that you can do and they're fine, and there's certain things that man's gonna do and it's not fine. Like it's just it's look, we should complement each other's weaknesses and strength, right? Like, women are obviously more, they're more social. Uh
Mm.
they are more, obviously more caring. They have instincts that men don't have, right?
Maternal
So
instinct.
well, mother comes in play when children are very young, and the father comes in play when children are growing up, because they don't need
Mm.
that warmth. Now they need structure.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Exactly.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that because I think that nowadays a lot of men did step up to be great fathers, where before a man's job was to go to work, the woman will take care of the house. Now you see a lot of men are way better fathers you know what I mean? They
Mm.
do better job with their kids than the mothers do. That's like I said, when women got a freedom, they went to jobs and they let's say they concentrate on career, for
Mm.
example, and like I said, and you see a lot of fathers, especially like when it comes to the divorces, right? In this country, especially, fathers really get screwed by law,
Oh.
uh, because because a woman gets to weaponize their kid, the kids against their father for maybe she's bitter because she feels like he ruined her life because, whatever, and she left him, right? I mean, most of the time, like I think it's a 70 or 80%. Like it's a really high percentage that women file divorces, not men. in the United States. And then, like I said, then usually family in law, right, or family law, they prioritize women. Um, and you see a lot of, like I said, a lot of great fathers who will take it up the, you know what, because they want to see their child, and a woman can make that very difficult, and then it becomes very costly, right? Because
Oh,
the justice system in the United States has nothing to do about justice. Has nothing to. It's horrible, like the laws, but it also carries a responsibility, because look how many men in Philippines, they make babies, they don't pay, they don't help, they start a new family, and they don't contribute,
yeah.
understanding they also have a family with this woman, right? Now, normally, if you pull the course out of it, you could say, well, then, if listen, Filipinos,
Mm-hmm.
no, there is something that's called KYC. KYC in finances means know your customer, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also know who you open your legs for,
Exactly. That's one thing.
because if you see a nice Filipino guy, and ooh la la, let's have some fun, all right, and then and then you're like, oh, he left me. I'm like, well, did he have a job? Was he responsible? And all right, then you're at fault. You just made it. And mom's like, well, I don't regret having babies. I understand that it's a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but what I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna have a baby, have a baby with somebody that's responsible. Because why?
Mm-hmm.
If you open your legs for a irresponsible guy, that means you are also irresponsible yourself.
Exactly. Hmm.
Water seeks its own level. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
there absolutely no difference. So yes, so choices do matter in life, but in the United States, the legal law system takes these bad choices,
Mm-hmm.
right, and forces men, for example. I think it's like, to a certain degree, I think that's a good law, where if you have a baby that, if you are irresponsible, that the law can mandate that at least you got to give your woman something, right, to help to take care of the kid. However, a lot of that, this law has been and is abused or taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my problem with it, that it's not about right or wrong, because if you're a woman, and guess what, you can hire a very good lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter if you deserve it or not, he's gonna probably get you what you want. But then guess what? Your ex-husband's gonna probably pay for it, and obviously you don't care because the money doesn't come from you, right? Like, this is, like I said, the unfairness
Mm-hmm.
of the laws in the United States, it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, if you get married, right? I mean, if this is very important. So, I believed before that if you marry or you bring a Filipina fiance to United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get married, whatever I'm gonna financially gain from that moment, it's gonna be 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. So let's say if I was saving, I pulled double work and everything, right? I bought myself a house, I got
Mm-hmm.
me some savings. You come here with nothing to your name, the court's gonna give you half of what's mine. You can go and you can cheat on me, right?
Oh,
And leave me, and the court is gonna still give you half of my, of half my life's earnings, and sacrifice it. How is that fair?
it's not fair.
And this is So now this is the law in Indiana, right? That's why I love cops, but the laws in the system I have absolutely no respect for. So
Mm-hmm.
now, for example, you could say, well, you can get a prenup, right? You go to an attorney,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a prenup. So now, a prenup says that, for example, for 5 years you're not gonna get anything. Well, guess what? You can take this prenup, You can, and let's say same thing, same scenario. You're gonna cheat on me. Let's say we're divorcing. You're gonna go to the judge and you're gonna say, Judge, yes, I understand I signed this prenup, but I came to United States. I was a little scared. I didn't know much. I wasn't thinking clearly. Guess what? He can tear this prenup, okay, and still give you my half, even that we agreed. So guess what now? So let's say prenup costs anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000, right?
Oh.
Depends how complicated your finances are. It's a lot of money, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you gotta these goddamn bureaucrats.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to also do a prenup for your Filipina. And I'm like, what? And it also has to be done by a different attorney. So now, if you want to protect your assets, you
Uh-huh.
have to find an attorney for you, pay him, right? And then do the prenup. And then you go to another lawyer and also do a prenup for the Filipina. And I'm like, well, the Filipina has nothing. It doesn't matter. you you still have to pay, let's say $2,000. What do you call it? And that lawyer of yours is going to ask you, are you 100% conscious and you are aware of what you're signing and all these things? It's a resource stealing system, right? That overcomplicates things, and that's why who benefits from marriages? People who have more on the table.
Mm.
So if for example, like if I have a lot and you have nothing, marriage is a horrible it's a horrible idea because guess what? You have nothing to lose. I got everything to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, and like for us, it's a different thing because marriage has a utility,
Mm.
right? But the thing is that this system shouldn't be like in Philippines, right? In Philippines, you separate. If
Mm-hmm.
you have nothing to your name, he takes the house, he takes the car, and that's it, right? In
Mm.
United States, it's different. The
Mm-hmm.
United States is different. That everybody and they think it's fair, but it's not.
Mm. Okay. Well,
It's,
how
I
about
mean,
it? You two, the husband and wife, they will have this agreement, prenuptial agreement, where they both aware of before they go to lawyer. Draft, an agreement first before consulting a lawyers.
well, but yeah, but the thing is that look, if for example, if you come here,
Mm.
okay, and then we both work. Listen, it doesn't matter if you come here and then let's say you're gonna stay home and we're gonna have a baby,
Mm.
right? Anything that I made and I earned is since the moment we've been married. I agree, right? Because guess what? Because if somebody take care of your house, just
Mm.
think about like, okay, you're gonna hire a cleaning lady, you're
Mm.
gonna hire a cook, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna hire interior decorator because you know that Filipina is gonna move your crap around, right? There's no way that's not gonna happen. Blah blah, like all these things, right? These are positions that people carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. You come home, your dinner is ready,
Mm.
and then she's gonna walk you to the shower because you smell, right? You just have a personal assistant, right? And on top of it, your woman is also a Google because, as we know, women know everything, and
Not all,
they're never
Lauren.
wrong. Just
Ah,
let's just
so.
so what I'm saying is like you have a full package. Yes, I believe that at this instance it's most of the time it's fair
Mm-hmm.
that if you have a disagreement or
Mm-hmm.
yes, that you should be especially like I said, especially if the woman has a baby, like it has your baby,
Mm-hmm.
and you should not in a perfect world
Mm.
need to go to the court and waste your resources
Mm-hmm.
on blood sucking attorneys
Mm.
because as a man you take a responsibility for your child.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Well, it's already 1 hour and 39 minutes conversation.
I talk too much.
And I think that's all for uh for this video because I will be having a class in hold on, I'm gonna check. In 25 minutes. Uh look, I have
So,
my
so as you, I got it.
uh,
As you see that I always try to have a short conversation, and she always stops me in my track. So, what a horrible woman.
well, I'm here, I think that's self-awareness. It's something like we need to build within ourselves. Not it is not a responsibility of our partner, but indirectly it has, because as what I have said a while ago, that our partner is our mirror. How our thoughts, emotions, behavior, reflect with them. So I'm actually, moving forward to be more self-aware, so that more I will not be destructive to my partner. Distraction. What is it? Typhoon? Destructive emotionally, physically, mentally. It is very important also that we are mentally aware so that we can be more objective when it
Yeah.
comes to a lot of things.
Yes, because you destroyed my mental
Capacity to
capabilities, and I'm emotionally a wreck, and it's all thanks to you. So it's happy fishing. Hello, this is fishing channel. Yes, yes, yes.
well, I'm happy to talk about this thing because that word self-awareness is very important to know in a relationship, how we show up to our partner and within ourselves,
More,
having this
more or less.
mhm, self-esteem.
It's listen, it's about having a conversation, and it's about acknowledging your partner.
Mm,
It doesn't matter if you agree or not. Just
mm,
how you said it's like this. You have to be a speaker, but you also have to be a good listener. And being a
mm.
good listener doesn't mean that I just listen to you. It means I really hear you.
I really hear you. Oh, I made a lot of notes here. I made 3 notes here already for past pages.
How's
Wow.
that a lot of how's 3 notes a lot of notes?
I
Look.
made a lot of notes here.
Uh-oh, empty.
Ta-da! So
Mm-hmm.
I have these notes, every day, what I've learned. So
Listen, I'll be careful. I'll be careful because you
mhm.
never know when you're gonna open a page where you have photos of midgets that you fantasize about. Okay, I'll
No,
be
no,
careful about showing these pages to your audience.
you
Just
cannot
saying. I don't know. I mean,
you
I'm
cannot
just
see
saying.
pictures here. It's just notes, every day I take notes, what uh what are the things that I need to
Journal.
improve. Yes, journal. It's to all Filipinas that wants to improve themselves, their self-esteem, self-reflection and journaling is very helpful. Mm.
And I could concur that the data shows uh, writing your thoughts down on a piece of paper does help.
Yeah, it helped me.
Even if you think it's funny,
Hmm.
even if you think it's goofy, that people lie to themselves, data doesn't lie. It actually does help. Yeah.
It helped
Now,
me.
I would not want to write my own thoughts, because next day I wake up in the morning, if I would read it, I'd be like, what the hell was I thinking? You know what I mean?
Well,
Why?
things that I need to
Why was
improve.
why was I crying when I was watching a Titanic? This big dude, and he cries like a little sissy. No, I don't like. I'm just no, I don't remember.
What I mean is that
Jack,
things that have substance. You know what I mean. Example. When I read 48 Laws of Power.
stop.
Okay.
We're supposed to
Oh,
end.
okay, okay,
Remember?
okay. I think that's all for
Oh,
that's
we're
all
pissing
for
people off.
okay. I think that's all for today. Uh, to my viewers, thank you for staying longer with us. That's all for today.
We
See you in
appre
our video,
w-
next
we
video.
we we appreciate you,
Yes.
and don't go and visit Bohol. That's it. I have nothing else to say.
Okay. Bye bye.